All right, welcome in everyone. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get started. Go ahead, Christos.
Hello, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great, Christos. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I would like to ask you, from what you see on those two games in Philly, what would you like to improve and what would you like to carry on game three?
We definitely gotta make some shots. There's no question. We gotta play. We gotta do a better job of stopping their three best players for getting really good-looking shot attempts. But we do those two things better, we give ourselves a better chance. But stops are important so we can get out and run and transition. Getting out and running in transition important so we can get easy shots at the basket. Getting easy shots at the basket helps our three-point shooters get cleaner looks from the perimeter. So it all kind of ties with one another, but those are a couple of things that we have to do better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chase.
Hey, Scott, just first of all, what were you guys able to accomplish today at practice?
We had one of our better practices. We did some things that we need to work on. We got a lot of shots. We got some execution. Talked about the position that we're in, and the guys are. We had a very practice was a lot of energy, enthusiasm. We're excited about the opportunity. I know we're down 0-2, but we still got a chance to make this a series, and we still have a chance to play better in front of our home crowd. And our guys, we had a good practice. I was very pleased with the energy and they had some fun out there.
And how would you kind of describe your point guard depth? Including Howell Neto in that conversation, even though I know he plays other spots, but just Westbrook, Ish Smith, and Howell Neto, what you have in those three guys?
Great depth. You got one of the best point guards in the league, obviously a Hall of Famer. You got two scrappy backup guards. One's as fast as any guard in the league, and his change of direction and his pace of play is high level. You got Howell just plays with that fierce competitiveness and leaves everything on the floor mentality. We got three very, very good players at that position.
Mark.
Scott, are you able to tell us if Russell practiced today and maybe his availability for tomorrow?
No, he did not practice today. Got some treatment. That's all I know as of right now. He's got treatment yesterday. I'm sure he's going to do it around the clock like he always does. But he's always tries to put himself in the best position to play. But we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Olivia.
Hey, Scott, as you guys have been able to kind of regroup, settle back in, be here at home, what's the vibe from the guys these past couple of days, especially today at practice?
Good. In any playoff series, three things can happen. You can win the first two, you can lose the first two, or you can split the first two. And that's what I told them. They did what they were supposed to do. Now we got a chance to do what we are supposed to do. Win our home floor. We play well at home. We got a lot of guys that are excited about this opportunity. We regroup. We know we can play better. They played well. With, they're a good team and they're loaded. They got a lot of veterans. They got a lot of guys that know how to play, and they got potentially an MVP, and they got high-level all-stars on their team. But our guys are excited about the opportunity. We know we're going to have a great crowd, and they're going to be into the game, and we're going to play with that same spirit that put us in this position to be in the playoffs.
Alex.
Hey Scott, hope you're doing well. I know there's been a lot of points this season where you guys kind of had your backs against the wall, where you guys were struggling, and at a lot of those points, you said you were confident that the team was going to get it together. I know down 2-0 is a tough spot, especially in the first round. Where's your confidence level at, and where, in terms of your confidence in the team and in terms of the chances of you guys turning the series around?
No, I'm confident in the group. I've seen the group perform and fight for one another during some really interesting times, and we've overcome a lot to get in this position. And we've been in tougher positions. All of us have. Not this year, just get to this spot that we're all in. And we're not. It's not good to be down 0-2, but it is still an opportunity for us to fight back together and get a chance to win on our home floor. It's a great position to be in. They have the best position, being up 2-0. There's nothing I can't hide from that. But we got a chance. We got a chance to go out there and compete. I told the guys today. We're not gonna shoot as bad as we did. We didn't make free throws last game, and we were 2 for 20, 22. I don't see that happening. I think we can at least make 3 of them. But I love the fact that we're going to go out there and compete. We had a great practice today, and that's how I judge. Every day. Did we take care of business today, and then we move on to the next day, and we got another opportunity to get this series, 1-2.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Fred.
Hey, Scott. I know you guys have loaded up on Embiid in part, and that obviously contributes to this. But Simmons and Harris are shooting a combined 17 shots a game in the restricted area as perimeter players. What can you guys do to just make it a little more, at least the shot attempts for them, a little bit more difficult?
Well, we gotta do a better job of containing the ball, and our closeouts have to be better. And then we could do some things. We can make some adjustments, and we will. Hopefully that can help. We got to do a better job. There's no question. Their shot attempts are their efficiency is outstanding, and their shot profile has been great. We got to be able to manage that better. If Simmons puts us in a tough position, we got to put him on the free throw line. We got to not give him layups, but put him on the free throw line and let him earn two there, which he's not a great free throw shooter. So we're definitely that's in the mix as well.
Neil.
Hey, Scott. Obviously, you've been able to see now 2 games what Philly's trying to do to Brad. From their standpoint, Ben Simmons is on him a lot. Have you and the coaches been able to think of ways to, maybe get Brad off of him more, where he's seemingly having more effectiveness?
Isn't Brad playing pretty well already? What's he shooting?
Agreed, but he's shooting a lot better.
What do you want to do? Average 50?
But it's just, there is a difference between when Ben is on him and when anybody else is on him.
He's a good player. Good player guarding him, and a good player. That's what they do. Good players play hard. Brad plays hard. No one's going to stop Brad. He's still averaging basically his average. He's going to have good games. He's going to have some games he can be better. We can be better as a group. It's not about Brad. We got to be better as a group. But Brad's the last of my worries. I worry about a lot of things, but that's not one of them. But thanks for your concern.
All right, last question to Zaisuri.
Hi, Coach. Raul Neto is struggling. Is he still recovering from the injury, or is suffering the Sixer physicality?
No, I think we got to find some more opportunities. I talked to him today. I got to do a better job, and he has to be able to get a couple of shots that he passed up. I don't want him to pass up one shot. Those are things that we talked about, and we need his aggressive play on both ends of the floor. We haven't, first game we played well enough to win. Last game, we didn't do what we needed to do, but they did what they had to do, and we missed a lot of good looking threes and free throw line attempts. So Raul is a big part of what we've done to get to this point, and he's another guy that will play well tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. Appreciate you.
Yep, thanks.
Hey, Daniel. I'm wondering what makes an ideal lob pass for you? Like, where do you like the passes thrown? Is there anything that makes one lob pass better than the other for you?
To be honest, I really don't have a preference. I just really just jump. Other than that, just anything that I really can control midair, in my opinion. Sometimes lob passes can be, I would say out of control or anything like that. But just really just anything I can control in the air, and something that I would have, if I would have to, something that I could catch to be able to come back down, maybe kick it out or go back up with it. Just something that I can be able to control, maintain. Like if I would have to go get it with one hand, dunk it with one hand, or if I would have to go get it with two and just lay the ball in. Or just, certain instances. It's really just not a preference. It's just basically really just how it's thrown at the time, I would say.
And some of the guards on this team had varying experiences with lob threats before. Brad said he'd never really played with one. What's it been like just kind of developing a chemistry with those guys? And were there any conversations about like, hey, this is where I like the passes thrown?
No, I really don't. I really didn't even had a conversation with anybody about it. But the chemistry, it was just like clockwork. It was going to happen, quick. In my mind, I knew it was going to happen quick sooner or later, just because of, the type of guards that Russ and Brad are. Just getting downhill and just either getting the ball up on the rim or just getting the ball in there for me. Other than that, the chemistry, it was, natural, basically. We're still building. But other than that, yeah, the chemistry was natural. And just like I said, just having two guards and pretty much anybody else on the team that's really like able to throw the lob pass or just really just, gain attention when they're attacking the basket, certain things like that. It's really good because, we're making each other look good at the end of the day.
Olivia.
Hey, Daniel. This will be your first playoff game as a Wizard at Capital One Arena. How excited are you to, be able to experience that at least 50% of the capacity there at Cap One this Saturday?
I'm excited. I can't wait for it. I know the energy is going to be, trying to blow the roof off the building. Because, it's a lot of fans. I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that's been waiting for this moment, just being able to get back in the arena. It was like a certain capacity at first. Now it's like at 50%, like you had said. So I just can't wait. Can't wait to see all the fans. I can't wait to, just have that energy that's been missing from, NBA arenas throughout this whole year, really.
Yeah. And as you guys have been able to kind of settle down from the road trip, what's the vibe like in the locker room, especially after today's practice?
It was good. Guys came in, got their work in. Basically, day in, day out of the NBA, to be honest. Then when we got done with practice, it was a high intense practice somewhat. We got up and down. We got a lot of energy throughout the gym and stuff. So it was just good just to, I would say, get that in today to basically get us in the right mindset for tomorrow instead of guys, coming in feeling like, we got to hold our heads down. We're 0-2. We got a lot of more games. We got a couple of more games in this series. We're going to see what we can do tomorrow to turn the tide with this series for sure. So today was a good thing just to really just get like the energy back and get the mindset back to go play winning basketball.
Thanks.
Ava.
Hey, Daniel. We caught up with you obviously after your first playoff game. Just wondering how, or I guess in what areas of your game did you feel more prepared going into game two, if anything felt different for you?
Nothing really feel different. It's just, just on the defensive end, really just not trying to get in foul trouble early. That's just my main thing. It's really kind of been like the toughest thing for me to kind of like master right now, especially since we're in the playoffs and stuff. It's going to be very intense. It's going to be very energetic, and there's going to be a lot of things that doesn't go our way. You just have to play through that. Sometimes fouls are going to be called that we don't understand and we don't agree with, anything like that. We just have to play through it. But really, just my main thing is just improving on the foul side of it. My conditioning will be there. It'll be better. My physicality will be there. It'll be better. But just really just my main thing to help me stay on the floor and be able to help the team is just keeping myself out of foul trouble. If I can hold myself accountable with that, I mean, the game is going to come to me, But really just other than that, I really just didn't really like focus on working on anything, working on my touch around the basket. That's pretty much it. Obviously working on my free throws because I missed a lot of free throws last game for sure. But other than that,
And Coach Brooks said it was a really good day of practice for you guys. You just obviously spoke about the vibe a little bit, but what makes for a good day of practice or a good film session at this time of year for you?
Just basically what we did, just coming in and, getting up and down and just getting a good feeling, just getting like work in before or after practice and just coming in together as a team and just having fun and having a good day of practice, having a lot of energy in the drills that we do, having a lot of energy in the conversations that we have, certain things like that, and just just coming in, minute out, and just, really just trying to lock in to be able to turn this tide in this series.
Neil.
Hey, Daniel. Scott was saying a few days ago that, because of how up-tempo they like to play, that, it's conceivable that a big man can, get tired after 10, 12 minutes of consecutive playing time. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like for you that, there is a threshold where you start to, maybe get a little winded and your play might decrease a little bit?
Yes. I mean, it's the game of basketball, Like I said, my condition is going to be there. Sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes it's better than what it was the day before. I have to really just maintain on consistency on where my conditioning is when it comes to just doing things off the court and stuff. So, my conditioning, is lopsided at the time. I've had somewhat of a weird year, not going to lie to you. But other than that, I don't stop working. Whether I'm tired or not, fatigue sets in most of the time. And, I asked out every now and then when it comes to it because of the honor system when it comes to guys, asking out when they're tired or anything like that. But other than that, I really just try my best to fight through fatigue because, just kind of letting fatigue set in, team can see that as a weakness and they can go at you. So most of the time when it sets in, I just really try to, get guys in that, are fresh or anything like that, so I don't hold the team back because I don't want to be out there and be a weak link, especially when I'm like, fatigued, because fatigue can set in and it can take a lot of things. It can take a toll on you a lot of ways. It can take a toll on your mental, it can take a toll on you physically, and it can mess up your game a lot. And that's one thing I really don't want to really just get in the way of like the team's success. So if it takes me having to come out because I'm tired, I'm all for it. If the coach sees it, I would be totally fine with him just saying, okay, good. Go get Gaff. He's tired. And I understand it because, the game of basketball is it's a game of runs, certain things like that. Guys are going to get tired in certain situations. I know it's on me to be able to have my conditioning up to where I can withstand a longer stint whenever I go in the game. But other than that, at the end of the day, I understand.
Thanks, Daniel. I like the shirt.
Thank you.
Christos.
Hey, Daniel, hope you're doing well. Speaking about the level of physicality and the aggressiveness on game 2, what do you need to improve on game 3 about that aspect of your game, and how important is to set the tone from the first minute of the game?
It's really important because, Philadelphia is a real physical team, from the 1 spot to the 5 spot. We can set the tone early and, up the physicality and take the guys out, that are usually trying to, I would say, dictate the game. We're going to have a good night. We just have to be the person that throws the first punch because the last 2 games they've thrown the first punch and we really hadn't even thrown back. And we've had stints to where we've kind of thrown back, but other than that, we haven't been throwing punches, in my opinion. And it's just, the level of physicality that they come out with, it's like it's intense. And, I would say us coming out, we have to learn to adjust to it. If they throw a punch, be ready to throw another punch back because it's going to be a dogfight for sure. Philly's a real physical team. It's not going to be easy. So we have to come out and just be prepared for it. It's going to be just basically being prepared for, primetime boxing match. You got to come out and be able to take punches and be able to throw punches as we're taking them too.
Last question at J3.
Hi, Daniel. How can you guys avoid to get in foul trouble against a center like Embiid, which is very good to get fouls? And how can you try to match him and defend effectively against him?
When it comes to fouls, certain things like that, we just have to really just kind of like avoid getting into, the things that gets him his fouls. He kind of does a lot of sweep throughs and certain things like that. And it's a lot of things where, like, if you get your hand in or anything like that, as long as he throws his head back or gets his hands in the air with the ball and they see any type of contact on him, they're going to call a foul, plain and simple. But just pretty much it. We're just playing as the best. You're pretty much playing the best defense we possibly can on him. Hands out, airplane defense. If he gets into the point where he's trying to, draw fouls with the sweep through or just like, trying to gain unnecessary contact from a guy that's defending him, we just have to be smart on that. We got to play with our feet, not our hands. But really, yeah, and that pretty much sums it up on just pretty much what we got to do with playing with him defensively. Just got to play with our feet, not our hands. Move our feet, stay in front of him. No flopping, no really just trying to take charges on him or anything like that. Because we're not going to get no calls with a guy like Joel. He's a physical guy. But, there's going to be a lot of calls that are not going to be called when it comes to him.
Thank you.
All right, Daniel. Appreciate you.
All right.
Hey, Ish, what did you guys, Scott said that you guys had a really good practice. What did you guys feel like you were able to accomplish, and how much scrimmaging were you guys able to do or not do?
Not a lot, but we did some 3-on-2, 2-on-1, just to get up and down, get some confidence. I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously, these last two games, played well. Game 1, gave ourselves a chance to win. Game 2, they played really well. We didn't play as well. So it was good to just get out there, see the ball going through the net and get a good little, get some energy, get some juice, get ready for game 3.
Ava.
Ish, obviously it was a bad game for everybody last game, but you were really good in game 1 individually, and you had some really good performances in the play-in game. I know you try to not overthink this stuff, but what do you feel like had been working well for you in the really high pressure situations?
Yeah, first and foremost, I'm mad at myself game 2 because I don't know, I didn't personally bring the juice. I missed some shots. Wasn't more in attack mode to the rim, kind of settled a little bit more. Defensively, could have been better. But just bringing the energy, bringing the juice. As you know, when you get into the playoffs, you got to take it up to another level. It's a must. You got to take it to another level. And a lot of times you don't have to play perfect. You just got to play with the extra gear, extra juice, extra energy. Defensively and offensively. So I think that's kind of been working. But game 2, I wasn't too happy with myself. So, I'm hoping and praying that I bounce back. And we're going to all have to bounce back in a big way to play against a really good Philly team and playing well.
How do you, at the end of a really long season, especially this season where everybody's tired, everybody's beat up, how do you find that to get to another level when you're, like you said, it's not even just tactically, you have to go really hard?
Yeah, you just finding the will to win, not wanting to lose. You just find it, deep down inside. And, once you start competing, I think you don't even think about it. Once you get out there and you start playing, our training staff has done a great job. My coaches have done a great job of kind of giving us the rest that we need. And so we get out there and we compete. You don't think about it. You don't over or underthink it. And before you know it, you're playing at a high level. You're diving on the floor. And, so I don't think you kind of think about it. You just kind of play.
Chase.
Hey, Ish, going back a few games, I think it was at the end of the first playing game we saw on the broadcast. Maybe the game was a little bit out of hand and you were given what seemed like a pretty passionate speech to the team in the huddle. What was your message then? Is it something that can apply to this series?
First and foremost, I didn't even know nobody was looking. I didn't even kind of want anybody to kind of see it. I was just kind of at the moment. I feel like leadership is very strategic, and it just depends on whose moment in time it is. We're all the leaders in our own way. And so I guess at the time, I just wanted us to just kind of play and realize the level of play that you got to play in, when it comes to playoff time. That was playoff time for us. The 2 playing games were playoff games leading into actual playoff, games. So it wasn't nothing crazy. I said it wasn't nothing inspiring. I was just like, listen, we got to play and we got to play harder. We got to play smarter. Can't worry about the referees. We just got to bring another energy and, bring some more juice. And I thought we did that against Indiana.
Olivia.
Hey, Ish. You talk about the playoffs just being different. It's a different kind of energy. How excited are you and this team to be back home at Cap One tomorrow in front of your own fans? I know it's just 50%, but that's something.
Shoot. Philly felt like it was 100%. We're excited to be back home. You get that extra juice, you get that extra energy. I thought the Philly fans did a great job, with an exception of stupidity that one fan did, but bringing the juice, bringing the energy for their team, feeding off of it. And that's what we're hoping and praying for when we come here, for game 3. And we know that when you got a home game in the playoffs, it just gives you that extra juice, that extra energy. A 10-point, run or a 6-0 run feels like, an opposing team, like they're down 15 or down 20. So we know what the fans bring, and we're going to need each and every one of them to be loud.
Thanks.
Alex.
Hey, it's kind of a bit of a follow-up to Chase's question. Just what are you telling your teammates ahead of this game? Now, obviously, I know a play-in and then being down 2-0 in a series is a bit of a different situation. And then also, just do you guys kind of see this game as a chance to just totally, change the tides of this series if you can get it to go your way?
Alex, you're exactly right, man. All you need is just one game to kind of see, to kind of put a chink in the armor to see what we need to do and get some consistency. I've been in a series where I've been down in the dumps, and all of a sudden you win one game and you start finding out what needs to be done, and then you pick up momentum and you start flowing, you start going. And, all you need is one game, but you got to win each quarter. You got to win, each minute. And that's something that coach is kind of focusing on, some things we need to get better at and work at. But give Philly 100% credit. They did what they were supposed to do. They won their 2 games and at home. And now we have to bounce back for game 3.
Thanks, Ish.
Yes, sir.
Christos.
Hey Ish, hope you're doing well. What do you need to improve as a team after the game 2, and how important is to set the tone and be more aggressive on both ends, and especially on defensive end?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Just being a little bit more aggressive. They like I said, game 2, give them a lot of credit. Second shots, rebounding defensively. We had a couple, possessions to where they got several block shots, and the crowd gave them great juice and great energy and different things like that. So now we have to, come in game 3, bring that energy, bring that juice. We got to be the aggressors. And if we do that and put them on their heels, I think we're going to put ourselves in a good chance to win the game.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, and last question at Chase 3.
Hi, Ish. You played in Philadelphia in the process era. I want to ask you, could you imagine the Sixers being so good in 6 years from the time you played there?
Yeah, they were going. They were eventually going to get there. I'm happy for the city. They endured that the time. They had a plan. Sam Hinkie out playing. He gave me a great opportunity. Gave T.J. McConnell, different guys. Jeremy Grant was on that team. The list can go on. Nerlens Noel and all those guys. So we got a great chance and great opportunity. And I know I'm missing a lot of guys, other guys now. But we got a great opportunity to play and prove what we can do. So, I'm thankful for that. But, so for them, fans endured it. I'm happy for them. And I think they were going to be good eventually. Yeah. Again, happy for them. But it's no greater feeling than to come back and dethrone the process.
Thank you.
All right, Ish. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys. That's it for